Alright.
Hello, friends and fellow gamers, and welcome back to session 10 of the Lordly Caliber RPG. We are down to, I forget where everybody's from, there's so many people, but I'm pretty sure from the Planar Crossroads, we're only looking at a half order of Canadian Bacon Day because Kane is not with us. But again, I am joined by Colin and Adam, a 90-pound kid with a better beard than I'll ever be able to grow in my entire life, and as well, perhaps, maybe, actual proof that gingers might actually have souls. But I digress. They do wonderful stuff on their channel. I'm part of their live streams now. I get to try to convert them all to Nyarlathotep worship, and that's sweet. So be sure to check them out. Let's go ahead and we'll do the recap in time. Let's roll initiative. Well, I have Colin's. I see that Colin has rolled, but I don't have it in the turn order.
The nice thing is if you roll when you have your token selected, it will automatically put it in.
So automatically select your tokens, please, kids.
Yeah, you need to select and then put it in. Did mine go?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've got Adam, I've got Joe, I've got Van, I've got Colin, I've got...
My token is not on yet.
It's not on, is it?
And no, not in the turn order. I selected my token.
Uh-huh.
Did you click your your token?
Yes, I did. I have it I have it selected to the token.
All right, so you have the token and hit and roll your initiative again.
I can just add it at 15.
Just add my token.
Yeah, I can do that. I think.
I am not using the Roll20 character sheet. That's probably why.
That would be why, yeah. I can't what I'm doing with this.
As much as I like Roll20, it's just some of the character sheets can be quite messy to mess around with.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
This one's brutal compared to the 5e.
Not bad. Yeah, the Starfinder one's not bad, but the ones are not very impressive.
Yeah, the Starfinder one is super easy. Okay, so I have everybody. Let me just do some scrolling here. So you guys are going to see that the dynamic lighting has changed. You guys can see more. I had described at the end of last session, the ground is shaking. Everything starts to like fall apart around you, and once there were walls, there are now just like massive chasms opening up in the earth. And I'm gonna need Pogue for sure to make a reflex save. Yeah, looks like Pogue is the only person actively standing in a bad place. So yeah, reflex save, do not fall and die, dude.
Okay. Crap.
Reflex save for the healer.
Reflex is probably his best save. I have faith.
Probably my best save.
That's what we've said on everything Van has done, and then he net once.
I know, right?
Well, mechanically, reflex save is good for a rogue and bard, if I recall.
I'm sure it is for Bard, I think.
Wait a minute, where? Oh, here it is. For some reason, my stuff. All right, reflex.
Yes. All right, that just barely makes it. The ground is shaking. You like almost fall into this black pit of emptiness, but you end up keeping your footing. I had described, I think it was Donald who was trying to figure out stuff about the password, and he got into his head something about letters and numbers, and then still just cackling and screaming password gleefully at the top of its little fire elemental lungs. The fire elemental in the candle over yonder waved her hand around, and some words, well, rather, I guess I should say a combination of letters inscribed in front of it on the ground. Everybody who's watching on YouTube can see them, and I'm going to go ahead and be nice to you guys, and I'm going to put them in Discord now so you guys can see them without like me having to type it. So, Colin, you are top of the initiative. We'll go ahead and, as the world is falling down around you, literally, as this demiplane appears to be coming apart, a bunch of random strangers who you do not know have been assembled here for whatever reason. I don't know how hurt you are, but I imagine a lot of the party is not doing so well. So we'll take in-character reflection for the hero point, and then you're on. I think he tried to talk.
He refuses.
No.
Strike him down.
Just remove him immediately from the initiative.
Oh, he's typing.
I see him. Still can't hear you, bud.
Nope.
This is why we all just need to like pick a central location, which I have no idea. That might be where I am, since there's Canadians involved. Just drive here once a week and set a camera up, and you won't have these problems.
There we go.
Well, if I did choose to travel to your location, it would take a good amount of time for me to get there.
I imagine. I see that Colin has returned. Do we hear him?
You guys are in Oklahoma, right?
Missouri.
Missouri? Oh, okay.
Close enough.
Now, there's a big difference. Having to go through Texas and Oklahoma to get to Missouri. Whew.
Well, I live close to the border of Quebec.
One of these days, I'll get on Google and I'll look at a map of Canada. I'm gonna sound culturally ignorant right now, but like before I met actual Canadians, in my head I imagined Canada was like the size of a state and not the size of a country, until two people from Canada started fussing at each other. And it's like, oh wait, I got it. Also,
Wait,
Colin,
it's
we still
bigger.
can't hear you. Never fails. We'll have him hold out.
Joe?
Next is Pogue. So same thing for you. In character reflection, the world is terrible for you right now. For your hero point, and then you're on.
What the hell is this? Where'd the walls go? Oh God, what a day. First there's worms and portals and crap, and then I feel so weak right now. I mean, God, and who are these people? And what's with this imp? I mean, I thought I was the short dude that gave everybody a hard time. This is crazy. And oh my God, is this hair growing on my feet? Oh my God, I need a pedicure.
All right,
How's that?
take your hero point, and you
Can
are
you hear me
on.
now?
Now I can hear you. As soon as we passed turn.
Yeah, I had to switch USB ports for my mic for some reason.
Rough. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and just have it on Van now, and we'll get to Colin when we get to Colin.
Gotcha.
So we'll do Van.
That was it? Oh, what am I doing?
Yeah. We're on.
You know,
We're gonna
do
treat this
something.
like combat initiative, because, like, imagine you're in a giant trap that's going off. Basically, it has its own initiatives and things happen and stuff.
Oh crap. So this black space used to be a wall, and now it's a chasm?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to. And what's this yellow spot here?
That is in Discord, where you see the like horseshoe with writing on it. That's where
Oh,
it
okay.
actually exists on the board.
And this little red light's the
The wee baby
elemental saying
fire
password.
elemental and a candle.
Stinker. I guess at this point I will pick my way around. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, so I'm gonna assume you went this way. When you get here, make an acrobatics check. The ground is still actively shaking as you go to like pick your way across.
Okay.
Okay. You are able to make it. Go ahead and put the token where it is you want to go. But mechanically, we're all treated as though we're blinded. So if you move more than 10 feet, it's acrobatics or fall prone.
So I have to keep rolling acrobatics if I actually
The
move
first
30?
10 is fine. We'll assume you're good.
Okay. Oops. There. All right. And take a look at that thing.
Okay. Sounds like a
So
perception check.
there's nothing. Oh, what? A perception check?
You said you wanted to look at it.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So you see pretty much exactly as it appears in Discord, except for like a weird horseshoe with white font on it. It's written in it's written in common. We'll make it easy for everybody to solve it. And it's like fire on the ground. You imagine in like it won't stay there forever. Eventually, like a strong wind would put it out, or if something were to fall on it, something like that. The fire elemental just continues laughing its wee little head off, cackling and screaming in delight, asking for a password.
Okay. I will study it and not try not to curse at the fire elemental.
All right.
I won't guess or anything. Yeah.
Is that all then?
That's it.
All right. Donald, in character reflections for the hero point, and you're on.
Okay. Well, going through Lucia's mind, she finally accepts that she needs to help the rebels to help her end goal out, and Cheliax end goal as well. And she is in a death trap, pretty much. So she needs to use her brain to get the party out of here if she's going to have a chance to get the Liberus Martyrs home.
That is entirely accurate. So take your hero point, and you're on.
Okay, so the writing that I see, just using my out-of-game knowledge, it looked like it's supposed to be words connecting together using with a bunch of jargon letters in between. Am I correct with that assumption?
You would need some kind of check to justify it in character. We'll let, I'm not going to call it metagame knowledge, that's not exactly correct, but, like, some puzzles have to break that fourth wall a little bit.
Okay, so what about engineering for?
Sure.
Yeah, I am trying to play out what is a intelligent 19 is like.
Well, go ahead and roll it. All right, so yeah, you get the feeling that this is a bunch of words jumbled up. You're not quite sure how it reads, but there could definitely be some jargon letters in there for sure.
So can I make out any exact words? Can I really make head and tails? As I am the person I bat with puzzles.
Yeah, this puzzle is like I'm trying to gauge where everybody is as we move forward in the game, so I know like how crazy of puzzles I can throw at you guys. But you would have to move closer to be able to tell anything more about it. From there, you probably just see, like, well, what do you see? We can control all that. How far did you move back? Make an acrobatics check. I'm assuming you're going to move more than 10 feet.
Yeah.
You fall prone in the square you're standing in right now. You, matter of fact, make a reflex save.
Something bad happens to me.
Welcome to Pathfinder. Something bad happens to you.
We are in a death trap. What should I expect? A sunshine, ponies, and My Little Pony to help us?
Yeah.
Rainbows and unicorns, baby.
Or in my case, it would be devils coming after me.
I think you're more worried about the rainbow unicorn coming after you.
That's
yes.
true.
Well, devils, I understand how they work. Ponies, I do not know how they work.
Ponies are difficult creatures. Anyway, if your reflex save is 8, you fall into the hole. You are able
Oh
to
shit.
grab the lip, but it's a very you don't have much of a hold on it, and again the ground is actively shaking as this is all going on, and you imagine you're not going to be able to hold yourself there for long. Do you have any
Okay,
reactions?
I actually have a rope and grappling hook and rope on my character sheet. So could I toss it for someone to grab?
You could I don't know what kind of check that is, but you
It would
could
be range
like a range
attack roll,
touch.
pretty much. Yep.
Yeah, well, it probably would be a range touch if you're throwing. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
sure,
would
that'd be nice.
I would be tossing it to the person to my left. So who's left
Francis,
to me?
right there.
Yeah, to Francis.
All right, sure.
Francis.
So
18 to throw it.
does that hit Francis's touch, Joe?
Yeah, let me tell you in a
I
second.
bet it does.
It should. I mean, touch is
Yeah.
All right, so
Okay,
you're able to. Yeah, you. It's probably awkward. I'm not going to try to do the Irish voice because I'm terrible at voices as it is.
Oh, why'd you throw that at me, lass?
I'm falling in and don't want to die.
I don't know.
It is it would be a shame for any of us. It would be a shame if any of us die in this prison.
Yeah, such a shame. Before we pass to the next player, go ahead and make a perception check, Donald. 5. Disregard me asking you for a perception check. And we'll go to Sarah. In character reflection for the hero point, everything is falling apart around you, up to and including Donald has fallen in the hole.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, Papa Emeritus is still going through emotional problems. He's trying to decide what he wants to do with his dive. What else? I don't really know what else happened in terms of personal events.
Well, you've run into a bunch of new people for one.
Oh yeah, that did happen last. It's just 2 weeks ago, and I feel like there should be something in between, but there isn't.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. There's a bunch of. Well, I've run into a bunch of new non-player characters.
And now they're all missing.
And they're all missing, but then there's all these new other people who are player characters. So it's nothing new running into new people. Top Emeritus doesn't really care about them yet. No offense.
Offense taken.
Okay.
Go ahead and take your hero point, and then do what you're gonna do. Like I said, the ground is almost tearing itself apart. There's chasms all over this place now.
Oh.
You see, Lucia tries to move and she falls on her head and trips and stumbles and rolls and blah 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 and ends up in that hole there.
Oh. Uh-oh. Can I see the letters from where I'm at?
You can see that they exist, but you can't read them very in depth.
I don't know. I was gonna ask you to move me because I forgot I could do it myself. Oh my gosh. Okay. So how about now?
You need to get a little closer.
Are you baiting me?
No, you need to be.
Alright.
It's set up. However, you do have to make an acrobatics check now.
So you did bait me.
Kind of, sort of.
Alright.
I love this game.
Oh.
You fall prone there.
Okay. I guess I can use the rest of my move action to get back up.
Yeah,
Is that
sure.
a full move action?
We'll say it takes the rest of your move action, yeah.
Hmm.
Then, is that all you got?
I suppose so, yeah.
Then it passes to Kazaha the Colorful. In character reflection for the hero point. And then you're on, dude. Did we lose Adam too?
I keep...
There he is.
No. Khazahad is here. Ah. He watches Poe and he says, "Oh, at least the little girl did not fall in the chasm. I don't know what's down there." And he starts to move this way to check out those... Oh, stupid little fire thing. Riddles, riddles, riddles. I left the Darklands. These things. Ah. And he starts to get slightly frustrated, but begins to pore over the horseshoe-shaped riddle, which I might be making progress on. I don't know.
There we go. Well, moving where you moved will require an acrobatics check.
Okie dokie. I shouldn't have too much trouble with that, but we will see. Where'd it go? There it is.
That is more than good enough. Yeah, you're able to make your way through everything shaking horribly.
Okie dokie. He will continue to eye the painted up priest. Is he painted up right now?
Yeah, I imagine. I don't remember ever like removing the paint. Are you painted up right now, Sarah?
I feel like I wasn't for some reason.
At some point it was removed.
No, it was removed because I was going into the city and we wanted to disguise myself as a normal person.
And you disguised yourself with a hat of disguise, though.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
It's probably, if he is painted, it's probably really, like, smudged and bloody and sweaty and gross. Skull mask has become, like, rotting zombie face mask, I guess.
Sure.
Ah. Well, he will still eye this person carefully and try to move up to get a good look at this horseshoe thing.
Okay.
But I'm trying to make some progress on the horseshoe for us. But we will have to see.
Fair enough. Did you have anything else you want to do, like, action-wise?
I hesitate to use a skill because I'm not sure how that affects the outcome for everybody. But I could probably do maybe an Arcana to see if this is a kind of seal, a type of seal or similar to other seals that I've seen before.
Okay.
Ooh.
That is okay. Yeah, I will. It's not really like, if anything's sealed here, it's probably the elemental. And like, actually, I'll give you, from the natural 20, you get the feeling that the elemental is here against its will, and it's probably been like, genie binding in this part of the world is super commonplace. And thus you assume that like the binding of lesser elemental creatures, aka elementals themselves, pretty common. And you get the feeling that this poor little fire elemental has been here so long, essentially like opening and closing the door for everybody, that it's just kind of lost its mind, is why it's just kind of like cackling and screaming password at the top of its voice, because that is all it knows for however long, you imagine quite a while, that it has served the Empire.
So do I think that by saying the password, it also releases that thing?
It's a thought.
Hmm.
You get the feeling, I'll give you one more, I'll say that
Okay.
like releasing the fire elemental might not be the worst thing in the world. Like, you get the feeling definitively that the fire elemental is more on your side than it would be the Imperials.
Okay. He'll kind of getting this gist. He'll glance down at it and he'll say, "I'm working. I am working on it, friend. Just keep the puzzle going.
She continues, just like, well, I shouldn't say she, it's a fire elemental, but they continue to just like cackle and scream madly, asking for a password over and over again. Is that all?
Yeah, I think so.
Alrighty, so then I've made the turn order so small. I don't know who's next. Who's next? Francis Root. In character reflection for a character that is not yours, Joe. I challenge you.
Okay. Some lass fallen down a hole and thrown me a rope, and if that's not all I had to deal with, I'm trapped in a fucking demi-plane with a bunch of strangers. Ugh. I guess.
Good.
What are you willing? Where'd you say you were from, lass?
It's, I can't remember what is Cheliax's capital? Is it
Igorian.
yeah.
I'm gonna say I can't remember what Cheliax is.
No. I'm just trying to remember the capital city. What's it called?
It's called Igorian.
I am from Igorian.
Oh. Big city, Agorian, right?
Yes, it is the capital city. I would appreciate if I can get out of the hole here.
I don't know. What are you willing to do for me, lass? You're willing to, this is sounding a bit weird now. I'm going to back out of this conversation and go back to what I was earlier saying.
Okay, this is the offer. Once we have... Once we are out of here, I will enchant your weapon. How about that?
Now, Donald, if there's some kind of like terrible, diabolical like backlash, you can't do that without Kane being here to play his actual character. Come on.
Well, this is a actual offer.
He shows up in a week and his soul is gone. Oops.
I'm not gonna let that happen.
Okay. If you don't want a +1 weapon, well.
No. Listen, lass. Nature provides, but I'm not gonna let you die. So here you go.
Okay.
Francis will grab the rope. What do I need to do, Tommy? Make a strength check.
First, take your hero point, and you're probably going to get something extra for playing a character that isn't yours. And yeah, we'll call it a strength check.
This is Francis. Alright, I got my total on my ability score check.
I don't... we'll say that's just barely good enough, mostly because Lucia doesn't weigh, like, next to anything, and you pull her out of the hole.
I mean, my character weighed about about 170 pounds. So
yeah, we did do that. Yeah,
that would be.
She did gain a bit of weight when she fell in the hole, didn't she?
Yeah.
Well, you're usually, but you have a rope though, don't you? Get like.
Yeah, we have some leverage.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll call it good. That's fine.
All right. I'm going to give this hole a wide berth.
Acrobatics check.
Well, I am playing my character up to her strength. She's an enchanter item maker.
That is true.
True. Yeah. Right. I did my homework.
It is not until level 5 I actually get to begin to make items or magic items.
We'll get there though. Anyway, I do need one acrobatics check from Francis Root.
From Francis? Alright. I'm a bit shit, but we'll see. There we are.
You're a bitch indeed. You, we'll say there's where you fall prone.
Oh, alright. Francis will just, I'm continuing in my Irish accent. Francis will just look up at Lucia and just kind of smile.
Alright, fair enough. And now we're on Joe again. That's funny how the initiative works that way. Edo Masson, who is, I think, way down here.
Yeah, he's stranded.
Yeah. So, in-character reflection for a hero point for this character, and probably something extra once we get out of here, because you're super awesome running for somebody who had to work tonight, and then it will be on you again.
I Why am I here? Who was this guy who sent me here? This is ridiculous. I miss my mom. I miss my dad. I miss Torvald. I miss Grungby. I miss my family. I miss my friends. Hell, I even miss those sprites. Now everything's collapsing. There's a bunch of people I don't know, including the people who I do know and have lied to me in the past, just standing around this fire elemental, doing the stupidest thing possible, and instead of trying to figure this puzzle out with some action, they're just standing around asking it questions. Alright.
Good enough. Take your hero point, and you are on.
Okay. Yeah. I imagine you're going to want me to make an acrobatics check, but
You know
I'll
it.
try and make it over here. Wrong character. I think I'd rather roll Francis Root's acrobatics check, but I don't, because that would be cheating. Wait, I have a better acrobatics. Yes! Why do I have better acrobatics? 1 second.
Because your strength is higher.
We can acrobatics with our strength. Sweet.
If we did, that'd be getting way more than that, but it's just weird. I guess that's whatever. It's fine with me. I'm not gonna question it.
Yeah.
You imagine?
Oh yeah.
Oh, look how graceful I am. Buh. I think in 5e they call that athletics, actually, but that does not get there. Prone. I don't remember where you started, but we'll stay there. And
Oh,
go
that's
ahead and
where
make
I
a
started.
reflex
Tell
save.
me. Go ahead and make a reflex save.
Yeah,
Oh, Jesus.
that is good enough. You you hit the ground, you get to move forward, you pitch forward, and as the ground shakes, like your body starts to roll yonder towards this chasm, but you're able to catch yourself and not like plummet over the side.
Okay.
Where is Enderling?
He is
It's down here.
probably at the map's like 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. I'd say like 7 o'clock. No, not even 7 o'clock.
Oh, hey.
4 o'clock. Well, yeah.
But
4
down
o'clock.
here? Or something?
4 or 5 o'clock.
He's almost
I'm
in
down.
like the
You
far
can't see
bottom right
me.
corner.
Oh, we don't see
Oh,
him.
okay.
Oh yeah, because you guys don't have dark vision.
Yeah, so
1 second. I need to look something up.
I'm such a kind GM telling you guys exactly where everything is, even though we have dynamic lighting. Oh, it's right there. Don't worry, you're fine.
I wish it told you how fast you can move when you're lying prone.
Half
Would we-
speed, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I'd say we just treat it like I'm sneaking, so I'm just gonna move another 10 feet prone.
Okay.
Is that alright?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That all we got?
Everyone, people who can see me probably see just this little childlike troll man running, not even running, just like belly crawling like a madman across the ground.
Kazaha might pick you up.
Yeah, probably does.
Yeah, Kazaha and Randall can see you.
I can see you.
That is
Randall
all.
not on the ground.
Well, Randall is passed out horribly right now because his player is going to show up in like 30 minutes. Ish. Watch him just bail horribly. Dang it, Jeff. Anyway, so next is, well, process of elimination. We go back to the top, and we're on Colin. Watch his mic break out again. You there, buddy?
You can hear me, right?
Yeah. Okay. So,
Yeah.
Awesome.
in character reflection for that hero point, everything has gone terrible for you guys. There's strangers everywhere. The ground is shaking. And, yeah, in character reflections, hero point, and you're on.
It would be just my luck that everything goes wrong as soon as I find everyone. Well, at least I have a chance to get out of here. If nothing else, we got to figure out what this thing wants.
Fair enough. All right, so take your hero point, and you're on.
Woo, I have 2 hero points because I didn't spend one last
They
time.
don't stack. You only ever get the one.
Ah, dang it. Okay.
spend them if you got them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Zandu is going to try and detect magic on that little ring of fire over there.
Okay.
See
That
if
is-
anything pops up.
You talking about right here?
No,
The
the
horseshoe?
words.
The
The
words?
horseshoe.
Okay, sure.
It's magic.
Yeah, it's definitely magic, for sure. There's nothing really, like, overpowering or crazy about it. Like, I don't know what school of magic the like magic writing spells come from, but you would get that aura. Perhaps conjuration. I have no
Abjuration
idea.
does
Okay, so it doesn't
lot
it
of
doesn't
scribing.
help sort out the letters at all
It
then.
does not.
Got it. Okay. Progress on this, but Zandu is going to try and get a better look at that very carefully. So, what do I have to roll? Acrobatics?
If you want to move more than 10 feet, yeah.
Got it. Okay. I'm not near anything bad right now, so he's gonna try and get behind our druid over there.
All right. That
15.
does not quite make it. You get the feeling like you get a couple steps out and you think you've got your footing, and then the ground pitches really hard, and you end up, we'll say like here.
Whoa, all the way over there. I was trying to get over.
You're trying to get there. Well,
Yep.
Well, go ahead and move 2 squares, your choice. You fall there.
There we go.
Okay, cool. You fall there.
Got it. Okay.
Is that all?
That's it for now.
All right, so goes to my turn. I examine the board. Let's say right about there. Yeah, that seems fine. So, like I said, when the ground started shaking, a bunch of terrible chasms come out of everywhere, and out from one of those terrible chasms, yes, Sarah sees it, crawls one of those. It's gonna just kind of like, it hugs the wall, and then its head comes up and it rears back, and a gout of acid just flies out of it. And I need reflex saves from Lucia and Francis.
Oh shit.
Okay,
Oh, Jesus.
I am going to re-roll that.
You know one.
No. I got a 4.
Terribly.
I rolled terribly. I got a 4.
Fair enough. Man, if you get
Whether-
that one though.
Oh,
Okay, slightly
crazy
better.
Archdude.
Slightly better. 14.
I'm sure Francis passes. Lucia does not pass. Lucia will take the full, and then Francis takes half of this. But what is this? Well, that's a lot. Okay,
Okay, how much damage?
we're getting there.
Wizards, they are not known for their reflex save or fart save
That
or
much.
taking damage. Okay,
Francis takes
that's it.
half.
Okay, so that full amount of damage reduced me to 0 hit points right away.
Okay.
Does she fall back down the hole?
Okay. Roll a
The
d8.
ground is shaking.
Roll a d8, Donald.
Oh no, I hope she doesn't fall on top of me.
Rolls a 1.
Really?
You know what? Sure. Let's have Francis make a reflex save, and we'll say 1 is Francis. Yeah. Okay. So
Oh,
Lucia,
Lord.
like, you dodge the gout of acid that comes from this thing, and you hear Lucia like scream out behind you, and then you turn around just in time to like see her collapse onto what would be like you're turning, so like your shoulder, and just like you both.
Well,
go
I'm on the
down.
ground. I'm lying on the
Oh,
ground.
yeah. Well, then there you go. There is no ducking. There is just you smile up, and then boom, breath weapon, and she falls
I got
dying on top of
6
you.
feet of city girl lying on me now.
Does that put you exactly at 0, Donald?
Yes, exactly.
All right.
So I'm KO'd pretty much.
You're I do not remember the name. Disabled. Yeah, that's
Disabled.
it.
Yeah, disabled. I'm not dead, but could be dead.
We're getting there. So we're gonna. This thing pops the breath weapon, and then it crawls back down into the chasm. Pogue, you're on.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. I will. Cure Light Wounds is touch, right?
It is.
Yep.
How lucky am I feeling?
Well, that is your thing. Lucky halfling, fate's favored. Perfectly lucky. Always.
That should be. Except for when I have to roll a D100, which apparently my DM likes doing.
I do.
Acrobatics checks, yeah.
Yep, if you want to move more than 10 feet.
Alright. 1, 2, 4, 5. Whoa. 6.
Oh, hello, little one.
Hello. I will do my roll.
Okay. That is okay. So you crit. I'm gonna say you're gonna try to cast Cure Light Wounds. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna say you go to cast the spell, and the ground shaking intensifies. Well, not like intensifies in response to you, but it has been shaking this whole time horribly, and like it crosses your mind that casting the spell you might not be able to pull it off. You might lose it, but like you realize that this person you've been hanging out with for 10 sessions is. Well, not 10 sessions. You get what I mean.
You metagame a bit.
You metagame a bit. Realize the concentration DC for casting in an earthquake is 20 plus spell level, I think. It's really high. But nevertheless, you push through and you're able to cast your spell.
Nice.
I think it's 20 plus, isn't it? Yep. So go ahead and do roll your Cure Light Wounds for your favorite Cheliax girl.
Right? I'm like...
It would be more associate than anything. Or acquaintance. Acquaintance would be the better term.
Yeah, alright.
Well, associates would be for we are on friendly terms.
I don't know if I go that far.
Oh, it doesn't... Sorry, it doesn't do the roll. I forgot. Is it... Caster level. So 10.
Okay, got it.
There you go.
10 hit points for Lucia. And if that's all, Van.
That's all I got.
It is in fact on Lucia. I think we lost Donald.
No, I just had to update my character sheet.
If somebody could heal me, that would be nice.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Windows needs to restart right now, or in 4 hours.
Okay, so we need to get out of here quickly. Have any of you over there got any hints?
Yes, how about you get off of me, lass?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Technically, I should have. You're right there.
Okay, I'm going to get off of him. He is not my character type.
Oh, I'm 35, medium-sized, true neutral.
Well, my kind, they are.
I weigh 230 pounds, so I'm pretty big.
Okay, okay. This is quite odd being male playing female, but it's totally worth it. Okay, my kind of man, he is 6 foot tall or higher, have dark chisel look, dark hair, red fury eyes that make you want to blush and weep for him, and quite the Romeo hero. But I don't tell him this. It just if Lucia was honest about her type.
I'll bear that in mind for later in the campaign when I need to dig that out.
Yes, a dark, charming anti-hero Romeo.
Got it.
Write it down, Tommy.
I should
dig that out for Tim. Dig that out for temptations later on when the big baddie comes around and says, "Hey, girl."
Hey, why don't we have a drink? And then, well, I will get the glasses. You open that bottle up, and then inside there, it is a fireball trap.
I should have made the Kadirian Satrap. I should have made him tall, dark, and handsome instead of overweight, bearded,
Wasn't he?
Arabian.
Wait, wasn't
By the
he?
way, I got part of this puzzle down.
Okay, wasn't
Okay.
he tall, dark,
do you have?
handsome?
He was something. What are you doing on your turn?
Okay, I'm going to get out of the harm's way. So, do I sense the outside of the area here safe?
Moving more than 10 feet is an acrobatics check, pretty much anywhere on the board.
Okay, so where would I think it would be safe for me to stay at the moment using my knowledge geography?
Roll
Would
it.
that be?
There you go.
25. Okay,
Okay.
so all the chasms on the board, you imagine, since the death worm popped up, breath weaponed you, and left, you imagine there's just a bunch of little portals, 15-ish feet down in all of them. So if you're trying to be safe, one might think, just as far away from the chasms as possible. One might also think, in the minds of the LN, quote-unquote, Chelish wizard, get the bodies between it and you kind of thing. I'm not trying to throw the other players under the bus here, but that's basically what you're looking at.
Okay, so getting up, that is is that part of a move action, or are they just an action upon itself?
We'll call it a move action.
Okay, so I'm going to move closer to the walls. That should, and I'm probably going to fail my acrobatic roll.
That's the spirit. You do not fail. You are able to soldier
Cool.
the memories
Okay.
of the person that you're actually into, and not the fat Irish druid behind you.
Okay, I have to remember to say I'm going to fail roll and I'm going to succeed in it.
So you are able to move wherever you want to move.
Okay,
Away
I
from the
end
puzzle.
my turn wanting to get
Alright.
out of somewhat harm's way.
Got it.
Thanks, Paul.
Sure. So
You're welcome.
Sarah, you're up.
Okay. Did we get rid of the worm?
The worm showed up. Breath weapon.
Jeff's
left.
here. He's on mine.
Okay.
Jeff's here.
There he is. Yep.
Hey!
Sup?
Oh yeah, there.
That's how he wakes up from being unconscious by being hit on the head. Oh yeah!
I really hope Josh is watching these. He's gonna get kicked. He's gonna get 3 kicks. So many kicks. All the kicks.
Unlimited kicks. As many kicks as you can count in the word kick.
Well, whenever you want to jump in, Duke, we'll take your initiative. You've just been kind of passed out on the ground and no more
Yeah.
con damage. But what are you doing, Sarah?
I've been. It's trying to let me join game.
Got it.
I think only one round has passed, so you're good.
Somebody's pupper is loud.
No, mine.
Okay, so hold on a second. Lucius Dreamman is Clark Gable?
Well, he is handsome. Ugh. Well, it's a Jewish man.
And now we know.
No, I think I'm thinking. I think
But
a young.
if you go with him, he's just gonna come to you at the end of the last session after you've betrayed everybody and burnt down your own home. He's gonna turn to you and say,
Frankly, my dear.
"Frankly, Lucia, I don't give a damn," and walk out on you.
Boom.
I'm
At least if Lucy, I get to have a hard juicy kid with before
what?
as long as Lucy, I get to have a passionate kiss with him. She is happy.
Oh, okay, a hard juicy kiss. I thought you said a hard juicy kid, and I was
No.
That is also what I heard. No.
Yeah. Sorry, just
Oh.
yeah.
Infanticide, cannibalism, man.
I have a tough, fat little
Cheliax
Yeah.
just got darker than I thought it did.
Well, yeah, it is a devil country after all. What do you expect?
I love Pathfinder.
demons,
Fair
contracts, devils, not hard, juicy kids. I did not expect hard, juicy kids. That's what I did not expect. So I was like, oh yeah, here's a sex torture chamber where we sacrifice virgins to the dark god. I'm like,
No. This is a twist. The contract devil. It is that man Lucia fell in love with.
Clark Gable.
Yes.
So what are you doing on your turn, Sarah? As we talk of Clark Gable and Juicy Children. Baba Yaga.
Ugh.
Donald's gonna multi-class witch, and he's gonna go out of his way to get that child sent hex.
Oh no. Well, it seems like we're working on the puzzle, and more people seem to have made more forward progress on it than me. Let's see, I have all knowledge checks. Is there a knowledge puzzles?
There is not.
Okay.
Knowledge linguistics, if you have it, might be
Do you
helpful.
have
That is a thing, yeah.
Let's see.
What? Shit,
Never
I'm
actually
totally doing that
called
next
for a
turn.
linguistics check before. This is weird.
11.
Okay, so let me see what you guys have figured out before I just start spouting here. Okay, so you can confirm, like, at the arcs of it, you can make the word participate, and like as you go farther around, you can make other words. Also, you at the very like top of the horseshoe shape that it makes, you can see the word one. Do you see where I'm? Yeah, okay, you see it.
Okay.
Other than that, it just the letters are all really like jumbled, and it's hard to make heads or tails of with just like a quick glance. But you get that much for sure.
And turd.
And turd. More importantly,
No, it's
Randall Savage crits his
I'm
initiative.
I'm back.
He's back.
I'm back and I'm first.
Why didn't it add you to the initiative?
Should I share what I have so far?
Yeah, go for it.
2.
Okay. So I got. If you can read this, I and 2 others are trapped. I need a password on the exit to something.
What?
Okay. Damn.
Okay,
Did
but
he get it?
participate's in there.
I mean, that doesn't
Where's
just
where's
immediately answer the
participate
puzzle.
fall within your thing?
And he has to really take a dump.
How'd you come up with that?
I started looking for words in there, and I basically go back and forth along the horseshoe, and anytime I see a letter that does not complete a word, I keep going, and if I reach the end, I start going backwards.
And now I know that I need to keep the puzzles difficult for as long as Colin is with us, because Colin has a mind for this stuff. Well done.
Yeah. So
I'm
when
not like,
Colin's
this is
not
it.
here,
I am not trying to like wave flags in Colin's direction because he's got it, but Jesus.
So what is it? What?
Just type it out in chat.
That would be best.
Yeah. Preferably in roll 20.
Anyway, are you done with your turn, Sarah? Is that all you got?
Yeah, it would seem that's all for now.
Alrighty. Let me get Jeff jammed in the initiative right quick. And so it was... Alright. Adam, you're on.
Well, with the input from Colin's thing, he's going to keep that in mind and start working some more on that once it's typed in. And he's also, Hazadha doesn't have much to do. He will keep an eye out for that. He'll keep an eye out for the worm. So he's kind of working on this while he's holding an action in case the worm gets too close to him.
Okay, sure. Then Francis.
Alright, I'm gonna stand up.
Okay.
It was a good run. We're going to go over here. And... Ugh. have stood up. I'm gonna sit back down. I am going to very gingerly make my way towards the thing. So I'll use my my second move action to move that far.
Okay.
Taking my time.
Gotcha.
Did you type something, Colin? Okay.
That's all I really have to do is Francis.
Okay. Then we'll go to Enderling.
And, I mean, Enderling doesn't have much to do either. I'm just going to move 5, 10, 15, 20. Just move as a, That's a full round action to move that speed.
Okay,
That's
gotcha.
2 move actions. On
All
the
right.
ground prone.
Then we go to Randall Savage. In exchange for a natural 20, you get that much of your con back. Oh, I
Nice.
decided 1d4. Hey, that could put him to an even number. It could be important. I don't know where he's at. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
let me know.
in character
Right,
reflection for the hero point, and then you're on.
Alright, so it's been crazy. I've been kidnapped and teleported. I'm like, what's going on? And I see a big old giant worm. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I know that's a bad dude. So I come over and I hit him with a yeah, and a yeah, and a yeah. And then I'm like, oh man, it took a lot out of me. He was covering some wicked jelly. Wicked jelly has been sucking the juice out of my body. I'm feeling real low and real dehydrated. I need a milk bath to get all my juices back. I'm not feeling too good.
All right, take that hero point, and like at the where you're standing, there's that little red dot is a little tiny fire elemental in a candle, and it's just cackling and screaming and carrying on, asking for a password. That little like half a McDonald's sign right above it is a collection of letters jumbled up that you can see in Discord. The ground is shaking. Not too long ago, the death worm popped back up and it breath weaponed people and then disappeared again.
If breath weapon
Gotcha.
people then lose.
Do we know if it's would it be like it'd be a magical password? So if I use like a use magic device check, can I try to finagle around the password and sort of like
It's a thought.
shenanigans that around?
It's a thought. 25. Okay. It's not like you're not intrinsically messing with like a rod of find the password, so it doesn't like verbatim give you anything, but you rolled really well. I'm gonna say you hear like Xandu is saying what he's saying about like how I and the others are trapped or stuff, and you begin to see other patterns in the word to like you don't exactly know what he's talking about, and I, as the GM, will say that holy shit, Colin, that was out of nowhere and really good, and I applaud the bejesus out of your deductive reasoning. But the check you rolled will reveal that what Colin said is like completely off track and has nothing to do with the puzzle. You see at the like both ends of the horseshoe, you can combine those two words to make participate, and then at the very top, you see the word one.
So one participator, one worm, one ring. I read about this before. There's one ring, and it's gonna rule them all. We got to be careful. Got to be real careful here.
Well, one's in the middle, then there's two around it.
And other than that, I guess I'll be on lookout for old Wormagarin, but not much I can do now.
All right, is that a held action?
Yeah.
All right, Xander, you're up. I feel really bad telling you that the idea you had has nothing to do with the puzzle because it was flavorful and it was really good and it was, I don't know how or where or what you got that from, but well done indeed, for real.
Hey, I'm still getting on track. It's just those extra letters in there that are throwing me off.
Fair enough.
So Xandu is going to try and move again.
Okay, sure.
And he's just going to move 10 feet because or 5 feet because he doesn't want to be exactly in. Actually, he's going to move down because he doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to be in that convenient diagonal.
Yeah. So still sort of there, but
Okay.
that's pretty good right there.
Right there. Okay.
Yeah. I was basically where I was.
So just 5 feet up is what I'm seeing. Because technically you moved 15 feet in terms of like moving your character around, but if you're just moving 1 square away from where you started, you don't have to do the acrobatics check.
I'm literally in the same square I started in.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So what you got?
He is just going to keep trying to figure out for any worms to come by.
Okay, gotcha. Everybody's holding action. What do, Van? You
Linguistics check.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I got a good eye on that before, so.
Mhm.
I can move 10 feet.
Without an
Yeah, move
acrobatics
10.
check. Or double
Okay.
move 20 feet.
Okay, 10 feet.
Okay.
And then we'll see if linguistics.
Okay. I'll say what Joe just put in chat, the 1, 2, 3, 4 hard times knocking, like you get the feeling there's something there, like you get the feeling Interling, well, probably more accurately, Francis is onto something, but like he's just not quite getting something right in terms of like how he's putting it all together.
Right. It's going to be 2-1. It ends 2-1. But the words around it. But don't make sense. One word. No, because we know, Colin, that going from the ends, going in, we get participate. Words.
Yeah, you
backwards.
know, participate is definitely a thing.
All right, can you does
Let me
is
see.
Wait,
words,
what did you get? Participate?
Yeah, and then words
Words is a thing, yeah.
and backwards.
Yes.
And 8.
8 is also accurate.
Okay, and then it ends with 2-1.
Make another linguistics check.
Because we know it ends with 1, right?
Mm-hmm. You know, at the top of the horseshoe, it says 1. Okay, you get the feeling that you should be reading from the top of the horseshoe down instead of participate being the first thing. So
Okay.
You get the feeling it ends with participate and begins with 1.
Okay, 1, 2.
1, 2, 3.
How do you get? Oh, because it goes backwards.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, so you do one letter of the first word, then of the first one going that way, then 2, then 2 letters going the other way. Then I bet you it's going to be 3 going the next way.
Four. Yeah.
I swear, if this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I'm going to be mad.
No, it's not. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 hard times knocking at your door.
I'd be mad
And then
anyway
having
with how in depth you got really on flavor. I was very tempted, and if I'm a little more of intelligent of a person, I might have just flopped the whole puzzle right there with how seriously impressed I was. Jesus, if I was handing out more hero points, you just got one. As it stands, you're getting something.
5, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8.
Are you done with
Something
your
to
turn, Van?
participate.
Backwards.
Yeah.
All right.
Backwards participate.
let's
5,
go to
6, 7, 8.
Lucia.
Backwards participate.
What's up, Donald? Fantasizing about Mr. House.
That sounds good, Joe.
No. I was just finding a good NPC picture for you to use.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Okay, so to move past 10 feet, that's the acrobatic roll, right?
Yes, unless you want to move 20 feet as a double move, essentially moving 10 feet twice.
I'm going to risk it and try to double move to safety on the other side.
Okay, sure.
God damn it. Fine, I'll type it out in fucking Discord so no one cuts it in half when I'm trying to make a poem.
Okay, so do I move there to my destination safely
I
with
haven't
14?
seen you move yet.
Oh, I am just wanting to see how far if I need to.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, you fall. I'm gonna. Are you trying to go this way, that way? Okay, so you fall.
Yeah, I'm
You wanna go that
trying
way.
to get over here, but
Okay, so we'll say
That's-
fall there, and then make a reflex
That's
save.
over on the edge. Oh, Jesus.
really,
Oh, really?
I can only save your ass so many times.
yeah, I would assume I grab the hook and rope.
So you're making the reflex save because as you fall, you roll over a little bit and you end up on your back and you look up. And I had described Skyrim style dungeon where it's open and there's stars above you, and as you look up, you see the stars rapidly get closer and closer and closer and closer and closer until there's a little shimmer at the top where the quote unquote cave demiplane you would be in would where you would exit it, and a boulder falls down and it hits you. Rocks fall. You might
How
not
Jesus
know.
Christ.
How much damage? I can only take so
How much?
much. Okay, cool.
Everybody
I'm
sees.
not
It's probably
spending
in
any more
addition
spells
to
on her.
Lucia's square, it's probably just all over the board. Rocks are starting to fall, collide with various bric-a-brac all over the place. The elemental doesn't seem to care and just keeps cackling on. Do you have anything else you want to do, Donald?
Let's see. Can I make out any hint at the door to get any more hints? It definitely have to do with words, numbers for sure. I'm pretty bad at puzzles, so I'm just going to roll a linguistic to get a hint.
Sure. Well, it sucks that you're bad at puzzles, because as long as Colin's hanging out, the puzzles are going to be really difficult. Because
You're mean.
Yeah.
I just got to keep...
Well, wait a minute.
Poetry also did
It was really difficult, but he was wrong.
But he was, the brain on this one. They make them real good in Chicago. Get out of here!
What?
You do not roll 131. Why does it...
What?
He rolled 120.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to put a dice roll in there.
And I forgot the D for derp.
Jesus Christ.
Here I am, complimenting people on their intelligence. So you roll.
It is just a single letter to forget to put in when you're manually typing a dice.
With a roll like
roll.
that, DSS Machina, the puzzle god, appears and just solves it for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a player, I'm terrible with puzzles. I'm playing a high intelligent character. I don't like dealing with puzzles, but I like playing intelligent characters. So do I learn anything?
I feel that a lot when I play witches and wizards and stuff. But what did you? I lost it. You rolled a 20. You get the feeling that you hear Kazahan out loud backwards words participate, and that you get the feeling that he's onto something there. And you probably, from where you were, you know that some of this stuff is gobbledygook and nonsense words, but you get the feeling that like not all of it is like nonsense in the case of like red herrings, so much as like some of the words might not be written front to back, they might be written back to front.
Okay, so I give this clue to the party there.
Alright, is that all?
Yes.
Alright, Sarah.
Generally, as a GM, I don't like throwing puzzles at my players without giving them a obvious answer.
I mean, there's an obvious answer. It's there.
Yeah, it is, but I'm just bad with puzzles in games.
It's okay. I'm
Well,
bad at
does-
puzzles too.
Does what
Secretly,
Joe?
I'm just trying to get back at Joe for all the like terrible Joe puzzles I've ever been
Oh
in my
my
career.
God, there's so
My
many.
revenge.
So 1, 2, 3, 4 hard times knocking at your door. 5, 6, 7, 8 backwards participate.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we have to.
Are those words right?
Backwards words participate.
In terms of like, as far as questions go, technically it is on Sarah's initiative in terms of checks and stuff.
All right, Sarah.
No
Maybe
question.
we have to recite the words backwards. Yeah, you can tell I'm bad at puzzles too. I can tell by Tommy's face. He's embarrassed.
I'm not embarrassed. I think it's funny.
I'm so bad at puzzles.
I am too.
Oh, okay. So I'm guessing it's not that we have to recite the words backwards.
You need some kind of check for more information.
Okay, I guess linguistics. I guess.
That would be good.
Oh no.
Would you like to use your hero point?
Okay.
Well, we don't have to listen to her.
Wait. No.
Why did it roll twice?
I don't know.
Roll it a third time. Okay, so you get the feeling like you guys you notice when you're putting words together, like at the top where you have like the 1, 2, 3, there is a way to like when you get to 3, putting it together is a little different than putting 1 and 2 together in such a way that like and I'm not looking at the guide and I don't quite remember like how to solve the puzzle, like because I too am terrible at puzzles, but 3 was, if I'm remembering right, appeared backwards, right?
Yes.
So yeah, you get the feeling it's not about like reciting it backwards, but you get the feeling that some of the backwards words might have been like important.
Well, I don't imagine that instead of 4, it's Rufo.
Wait. So
Because
which
every three words it reverses.
words, Joe? Which words were backwards? Which words? Right.
Let me look at it. 3 was backwards. 4 was back the correct way again. Times is backwards.
What is?
Every
What's
3
backwards?
words is backwards. Every 3 words.
Okay, so what are the?
So 3 times. Your was backwards.
Yeah.
6, I believe, was backwards. Backwards may have been... Yeah, backwards. No, backwards is not backwards.
Times.
3 times your 6.
What?
What?
3 times your
There's
6.
3 times 6?
Because weren't there
17.
3 people who just got added and 6 people who were there originally, right?
Yeah.
Technically, we added 4.
What? Wait. This
No,
will
wait.
add to the triple entendre here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, I thought there were going to be 18 words in the poem. So like, Tommy,
I'm good,
get
but
out
I'm
of here
not
with
that
your weird
good.
inception.
3
No,
times.
I think it's 3 times 6, so it'd just be
18.
3 times your 6. Yeah, it'd be 18. So we knock 18 times.
It is still on Sarah's initiative.
I don't want to do the actual knocking.
Do you want to pass your turn? Though?
Francis will knock.
Because you don't care.
He'll
It's not
do
your
it.
character. Throw the character that isn't yours under the bus.
No, Francis will do it because it's what you do.
Yeah. You already got the Cheliax woman thrown on him anyway. Are you done though, Sarah?
He'll get the woman and he'll save the day.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry, Sarah.
for what?
For steamrolling her turn.
Fair enough. Adam, you're up.
Okay. Well, Hazat Ha will have, as we've conjointly worked this together, he will look around at everyone, kneel down. The thing's been responding to verbal things more than... Of course, there hasn't been any tried. So he'll tap the ground 18 times and say 18
Okay.
to the fire elemental.
Oh
All
god,
right.
I hope this works.
So a portal opens,
And
and
But what language did you put it in?
it's common.
He's been responding to common.
yeah,
No, he's been asking password in Chelish, though. So it
Quickly,
might be
what's
18
the...
not
Chelish.
Chelish.
Chelish, yes.
Well, I can speak both.
Yeah.
A
I
portal
probably
opens up
speak what he
right
would.
there.
Here.
And
That black line. Nothing else happens.
nothing comes through it.
Nothing comes through it. Nothing else happens.
Is everything still shaking?
Yes.
Khazahad will just look around and say, "You never know unless you try."
Did he stop
Oof.
asking for password after you said it?
The elemental did stop. I
What?
tried to move through the portal.
Yeah, he
believe
says, "Come
so.
on, little fire thing," and moves through the portal.
Okay. So first off, make acrobatics check.
Oh no. Here we go.
And second off, you die.
Yeah. Haha. Or third
Second
off,
off.
this is entirely wrong, and you take the elemental through the portal, and the door is gone.
All right. So what am I making? A reflex?
Make acrobatics
acrobatics,
to
that's
move
what
greater than 10 feet.
It's Adam and a whole batch of new characters playing with.
Okay.
Everybody
And-
reroll. Level 4.
Next week.
Oh,
Yeah.
he makes it through stylish. You know, he kind of does the salute on the way back as he jumps backwards through the portal.
All right. So you end up. What do I want to do here?
You end up in a chasm.
Yeah.
Next week, Van plays Lucia.
We'll say.
Donald plays Pogue.
As much as that sound like a interesting opportunity to play it out, no, I don't like playing other characters' characters.
It would be
No, that
fun for
becomes-
like an April
that
Fool's
becomes-
thing.
No. See, that's what happens when we go through the portal.
So
Everybody switches characters.
yeah, it was fun to watch Kane play Sheehan in Rise of the Ruins because I'm evil, and just like make that be the whole theme of the session. It's just make fun of the other guys. Anyway, you end up.
Yeah, that kind of happened.
Oh, I'll be nice. Let's roll a d8. That far off the ground. You can make an acrobatics check to treat the fall as 10 feet less. This portal closes, if I can grab it, and you fall back about there-ish. Yeah.
Oh, I bet that looks fucking hilarious.
He bows and... Wait, didn't you take the elemental with you?
Oh, Jesus, come on.
So then they would
Did
go
I take?
over here. Didn't you say you picked up the candle and walked through?
I told him to come on.
Okay, yeah.
He was
didn't
moving
move.
by himself. so-
Candle cannot move.
Okay, I pictured Adam's character goes through the portal and appear in
Hey, I-
another one. It's just like the portal gun from the Portal series.
He ends up in an alternate
Yeah, but I
universe where
fall
everybody
through-
has really sweet goatees.
I fall through with sweet, sweet style, okay? I just kind of land, flourish up, ready to battle, and there's no one there. It's like, oh, I just couldn't leave you behind.
And by virtue of the natural 20, I'll give you that you guys were really, really, really close. You also take no damage, though.
Okay. Really close.
Really close.
3 times your 8. 3 times your 6.
Is that all, Adam?
If you're 3 times your 8, holy shit.
Yeah,
That's pretty much all I could probably do.
All right. So then we go to Joe.
We go to Francis. Oh, moving to careful. And now we're at the horseshoe. We're going to look, and we're going to say out loud the 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I've become Radix and Link, everyone. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hard times knocking at your door. 5, 6, 7, 8. Backwards words participate.
Maybe we all have to do it.
Just all at once, and you have to hold hands.
It says participate. Maybe we all have to participate.
Because friendship is magic.
Says the Asmodean Oracle.
Okay, I'm not
wait,
saying it out like the way I'm saying it.
Okay, I'm curious what Papa next DD is going to be. I'm pretty sure Asmodeus doesn't like all this hand-holding, cuddly friendship power thing.
I don't think Asmodeus cares at all as long as you just like sign on the dotted line.
Yeah.
1 second, I'm writing things down.
Okay.
In an earthquake.
In an earthquake.
Looks like my father's handwriting.
Why would you draw 3, 8?
What?
Like a bunch of infinite
That's
signs.
what it's 3
I'm
times
reading
your
the
6
thing backwards.
Oh.
3 times your 6 backwards.
What's my 6?
Well, I mean, we could draw the symbology for male and female backwards. It's 6 in many other Germanic languages on Earth is spelled sex. So
Okay,
How about
so
666?
so there are 6. No, it cannot be that
it's 3
changing.
times your 6 backwards.
No, just the backwards words participate. So
Okay, so
backwards words gives us 3 times your 6, right?
that's 18. Yeah, or it could be 81. That's backwards, or could be referring to our fronts. Your 6 is behind you. If you're talking like Top Gun style, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Or
So
6, 3.
what's the back of your 6? It's your front.
How about
So-
6, 3 times?
But yeah, that could be 666. So it could be that Papa Emeritus
Oh.
something.
Sign of the devil.
Yeah,
Asmodeus.
biggest dude. Big devil man.
Yes.
He's making a mockery of you.
Oh.
But he's not saying password anymore, huh?
No, it still continues. Like, now that
Oh, okay.
Kazuma has fallen gracefully, the portal closes and the elemental just continues cackling, asking for a password.
Francis, I was about to say it in third person in an Irish accent as well. So it's going to be, but we're going to stop right there. And instead, I'm going to say 81 to the elemental. Francis will get down. Honestly, you look at the elemental and say 81.
All right, portal opens. I guess I need to draw it. Right about.
Okay, Moonman, you did so well the first time. Would you like to try again?
Well, I almost did Irish myself.
Yeah, we're gonna trade if I'm telling you. I'll be Eastern European and you could be Irish. It'll be a great time.
Well, you are so much closer. It would take me a few moments to get over there.
You're right, but I've had a good amount of fallen already.
Well, I could do it on my turn.
Well, of course. But that would be metagaming. So I'll pass your...
Yeah,
Anybody want to do anything?
yeah.
Enderling's going to continue to move. If he's not going to turn into a Cyndaquil,
Good to know.
he's going to move 20 feet.
Gotcha. Alrighty. So
Still on his hands and knees.
here at the end, Enderling shows back up as a circle. Everybody, make a perception check.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
27?
27. Waiting on some more.
Two of us.
Two of us.
Enderling didn't do terrible.
What does everyone roll for?
Perception. Okay, so we'll say
Just the two of us.
we
You
can
and
make
I.
it if we
Make
try.
it a sweet jar.
We'll say right yonder. This is less of a portal and more like I don't know why I'm trying to cover that in. You guys get the idea. Like imagine sort of like a scrying pool appears in the ground there, and if you are Enderling or Emeritus or Pogue or Lucia, you see the hallways
Randall.
of the prison that you guys had been in before you ended up here. The place is flooded with gas, like thick purple and green clouds of smoke billow through, and you can see all these other prisoners, some of them members of the Cult of the Dawnflower, some of them just prisoners that happen to be there, like coughing and on their knees throwing up blood, as those of them who are able to still fight are contending with what looks like a gargoyle about the size of like a castle that has to like squeeze itself through the halls of this place. It looks like somebody took like a couple dozen gargoyles, chopped them up, and then like sewed them back up how they wanted a gargoyle to appear. Like, so we're thinking heads on elbows and horns coming out of like fingers and stuff like that. The thing looks like it's in like mortifying pain, but it continues to just lash out against, like Enderling might see Colin Wren. One of his illusions gets cut through as Colin Wren himself like tries to parry another claw coming around. Pogue might Pogue has a girlfriend. I forgot about that. That little blue-haired gnome just kind of like she's got
No!
her shield is discarded and she has like a little bit of cloth held over her nose and mouth as she's trying to fight this thing off. But you can see like trickles of blood coming down. For those of us who are not from the beginning of the game, Kazaha will probably recognize as some members of the Cult of the Dawnflower. You know that prisoners have been taken forever and ever and ever. You don't know exactly where this is, but you know wherever they are, the place has been flooded with gas, and they also have to contend with like this really big, giant, scary monster. And this disappears. If I can grab it. Never grab it. There we go. All right, Jeff, you're on. Yes, Lucy.
I mean, there's not much I can do. Yeah. I'm gonna pass. Not much I can do.
All right. Colin?
So, some kind of portal opened. I didn't see it. You know, Zandu has no idea, so he's gonna keep trying to figure out this puzzle.
Okay. So then we'll go to Pogue.
Okay, so should I make a linguistics to see if I can get another hint, or
Yeah, go for it.
so we're really close?
Mm-hmm.
12 doesn't give me anything.
You get the feeling like the 3 was right for sure, and you get the feeling the answer is definitely a number, but like you get the feeling you're screwing up one of the words, be it backwards.
We're screwing up what?
One of the words being backwards.
Okay.
Zandu will mention that there's definitely a 7 in there.
Oh, okay.
It's right by the X.
The 7 instead of the 6. How about 21?
Where do we get 21 from?
He's replacing 6 with 7 and saying that 21 might be it.
Did we count wrong? Knocking.
No, it'd still be 6. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
4 hard times. Knocking at your door. 5, 6, 7, 8. Backwards. Words participate 3.
But only the words that are backwards participate, which means
Oh, wait,
6
no.
is not backwards.
Yeah. So.
And your is not backwards.
Alright, so which are the ones that are backwards?
It looks like 3 times 7 is what it would be.
Yeah, 7. 7 is awkwardly backwards.
Okay.
This is a very confusing thing because I can't draw. Well, actually, I can't. That's ridiculous.
So 3 times 7?
1,
Yeah.
2. Give me a second. Yeah.
So Pogue
Yes, 7
says,
is backwards.
so Pogue leans down and says, is it 21?
She continues, well, I keep calling her she. It is a fire elemental. I don't think
I
they
keep
have genders.
calling her she.
Yeah, hey, leave me be. It just continues, like, you ask it. If it's 21, it just cackles and asks for a password.
So I say 21.
Okay.
Draw it.
So, what color do I want to use this time? I should close
12.
my portals. I have a portal open that shouldn't be open. If I can grab it. Let me get that. Okay. So,
Oh, but
let's do blue. Blue is fun. The portal opens. It's not in a straight line, but you guys will take it. Make a perception check.
Make a perception check.
If you
Okay.
would.
31.
I see that. Boom.
oh yeah.
The most useful
And
thing
boom.
Enterling did over the course of the puzzle. Just waiting to see if somebody nat one's in there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm waiting on Xandu.
No.
No?
Nope, I see him. Okay. Okay, so a portal opens much larger than anything you guys had seen this little fire elemental candle create. And especially, I don't know how, well, we'll resolve the crit in a second. It doesn't take a whole lot of, like, advanced knowledge of, like, the world and traveling around. Like, okay, if you live in America in 2017, you know what the Golden Gate Bridge looks like, whether or not you've been to California or even, like, the
Right.
West. You guys see Kathir, which is the Kadirian capital, which is deep in Imperial hands. You see, on the other side, like, this opens up into a barracks. And the guards on the other side see the portal open. And they all, like, begin freaking out and, like, going to weapons, figuring that, like, this is some kind of surprise rebel attack. The portal stays open. The fire elemental, it begins, and just kind of, like, it goes from screaming password to just now screaming. By virtue of the natural 20, this is the answer to the puzzle. This is where you're going, but where you're going isn't necessarily where you want to be. By virtue of the fact that, like, you're going to get dropped right into enemy hands.
How many guards are there?
A lot.
Oh.
This could be bad.
It'll, like, you guys could maybe fight your way through at full strength for a little while. Maybe, but, like, this is... You imagine, like, you might be able to secure a room. Again, the fire elemental just kind of, like, starts wailing out. It's kind of like... You imagine, like, it had been broken by the Kadirians before, and now it's just, like, even the, like... I guess the conditioning to open and close the door has, like, left it, and now it's just wailing dejectedly.
So this capital, you said.
You're free. Come with us.
It can't move. It's, like, stuck in the candle.
Is this open or is this on initiative still?
Let's put it to initiative because there's still like a count where the death worm shows back up. I'll put it to Lucia.
So the plan is we go through the this portal.
No.
If you
No,
were to
because
do
if we
so, you would end up in the Kadirian capital in like a barracks somewhere. Like imagine like in Solitude in Skyrim. I make a lot of Skyrim references. Oh well.
Because you
Like-
played over probably like 1,000 hours in Skyrim.
Well, that's nothing. But like where all those guards are shooting at targets at whatever the castle's called in Solitude, something like that.
So what is the game plan? Do we try to use the element to get us a portal elsewhere? What is the group?
I don't think it controls where the portals go.
There's a knowledge check for that.
There is a knowledge check for that.
Okay, knowledge planes. Let's see if that works. So if I try to use knowledge planes, would that help us get to another location?
It's a thought. Like Joe said, there's a knowledge check for that. That might be my new catchphrase.
Not perception, the higher the better.
That one's good too, though.
Okay, I'm going to do a planes check to see if we can get this portal elsewhere.
Okay.
So
Ranks in knowledge arcana.
wait, so 19 planes.
Okay.
So does that give me anything?
You can't really like the portal is open. You can't well you can certainly close a portal, but you can't like it's like installing a door in your house from going from like your bathroom to your kitchen. You can't just like knock on that door 3 times and suddenly the door goes from like bathroom to garage or something. The door's
Yeah, but
already
we have the
open.
power to instantaneously set up a door, Tommy.
Yeah.
We don't have that power in real life.
Oops.
because it's a game.
Magic.
It'd be cool though.
So do we
You
want
get
to
the
judge?
feeling to answer your knowledge arcana. As far as like opening doors other places, it's the elemental that's opening the doors, and the elemental is opening doors because the elemental is like bound to the empire. The elemental is doing what it has been essentially enslaved to do. I realize I'm telling the Chelish girl, but nevertheless, you get the feeling that that's like the key here.
So asking the elemental to open the door elsewhere, would that be a option?
Yeah, you certainly can.
Okay, I'm going to ask the element to have the gate appear elsewhere, not in harm's way.
Okay.
For
Make a diplomacy check. Well, social check, your choice. I don't know what your best is.
it would be a diplomacy, oddly enough.
All right, fair enough.
A deplorable check.
The
So-
elemental continues to just like wail dejectedly. It's gone from like partially like taking pleasure in your misery and partially just like again tortured and broken and resigned to being the person opening a door essentially to now just like complete misery and dejectedness and woe is it, but magnified like 100 times more than what I just said, because what I just said does not sound very severe at all. You get the idea.
Okay. Let's try to ask the element nicely if we can get the portal elsewhere. We don't need to be put ourselves into harm way necessarily.
All right. I'm
What about
going
our
to
friends?
Pass it to.
If we can get them out, that would be perfect.
Sarah, you're up.
Did the elemental do anything?
It just continues to like dejectedly moan and wail.
Like he's crying?
Yeah.
Oh.
Time to switch back to neutral.
Lawful
real
evil
quick.
cares for the element. Oh.
Alright. How do I want to do this? Let's do a diplomacy check.
Mhm.
No, wait, hold on. No, diplomacy is best. To be like, if you can do this, come on, hop to it now.
How diplomatic of you. Lawful, evil, neutral, good. But go for it. It continues to just look really, really upset.
Okay.
Anything else you want to do?
Oh, let me think. Flip-flopping through alignments means that I have to decide.
Whether or not you care about this thing at all. Because it definitely like has an individuality.
Oh. Okay. It's like you said it's like a fire elemental, right?
Yeah, imagine like Tinkerbell sized on top of a little candle.
So I don't want to touch it.
Fire indeed hot. But I mean, like the candle has a little like you could pick it up like it was like one of those old timey candles, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I don't want to say candle holder, but that's what's coming to mind.
It's a candle holder. That's what they call it.
Oh, wonderful.
Candelabra.
Not quite that.
Candelabra.
In front of me, we see a several $100 magic card.
Yeah.
Or is it in the thousands?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
We don't need to discuss that.
I'll like awkwardly like not touch it, but just be like, "They're there. You're all right. Like, please don't cry."
It sniffles up at you. As it does so, probably like because there's no tears here, little like embers go flying all over the place. Some of it probably like hits your robes. I'm not saying you like catch fire or anything, but
Your robes are made out of the driest thatch possible.
yeah.
Oh no, she's a cleric of the devil.
Yeah, she's fine.
Her robes are fireproof.
That's how I
It's
got
gonna
there.
burn eventually.
Yeah.
Alrighty. What you got, Adam?
Khazakhan will walk over here, and
Okay.
you said this creature was bound here. Do I think it's bound to the candle?
First make an acrobatics check, and then make another check to like justify what you're asking.
Okay, so acrobatics.
Well, alrighty. What do
10.
you use that hero point?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Yeah, I
no.
guess not using it for anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was using it to fly.
That is
21.
much better, and that does get you there. And then
Double
to
your
answer
money.
your question, some kind of check.
I will do. It would be Arcana for binding, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that makes sense.
18.
All right, so yeah, you get the feeling this thing might definitely bound to the candle.
And like similar to a genie
Yeah.
you mentioned before.
Mm,
And genies, when you destroy their lamp and in your setting, are they freed
they are.
or are they destroyed? Okay.
They're free. And they have
Khazakhan
like
will.
I think it's a 10% chance to go crazy and try to kill you. I forget exactly how the Afridi bottle reads because it's been a while, but
Yeah, they have a 10% chance.
Joe knows.
Yeah.
Oh.
I had one for a long time in my first game with Joe.
It was sweet.
That you never used.
Yeah, no.
Except like once to be like, fight! And then it died.
Yeah. But yes, destroying the candle would free the elemental.
Okay. Well then,
Go for it.
Khazakhan will take out the well, he had his scimitar out, and he will only slightly glance at everyone else, and then down and try to destroy the candle holder to free the, and will say, "Your torture is over."
Make an attack roll.
And that's what he will do. All right, I actually have to roll for that because roll 20 does not work. 1d20 plus 8. 22.
Yeah, that definitely hits we're just kind of, I guess, trying to bait nat 20s and nat 1s on this one, but you definitely like you cleave right through the candle and the candle holder, and the elemental immediately like flies forth. As it does so, this portal immediately closes, and like good that it did too, because like you see right before it closes, the Kadirian soldiers had begun to like get their act together, and they were going to enforce move through the portal. They had like crossbows lowered at you guys. Probably
I was gonna
They
bait
came
him to
through
come
the
through.
portal. Yeah, I would come through and then run in after him and then take the thing with us, and they would have been locked in there.
I should have let it happen. Oh well. The elemental. Does anybody speak Ignan?
I don't.
No.
In that
If I
case,
remember right, someone did.
Yeah, I do.
okay. So
I told you. I was thinking. I'm like Donald does.
yeah, I thought I did too. So Lucia hears this little elemental just like screaming and gasping for freedom, and you guys all see it just like do little flips in the air. It's obvious somehow or another this thing can fly. I don't know if fire elementals have a fly speed, but this one does. And just like zooming all over the place. A portal opens. We'll say, I don't want to draw it in black. This is a happy portal. It is a good portal because we're out of here.
Yay!
Right there. The elemental immediately flies through.
What a very cheerful shade
Yeah, it
of green,
remains open.
Tommy.
Is
Do we
this
see
place
anything
still
on the other
shaking?
side?
The ground is still shaking, and we are still on initiative. But on the other side, make a perception check.
See skies of blue. 25.
They'll get everybody.
I don't know that it much matters what I see. I'm
No.
Uh-oh.
Oh Lord.
Oh, Lord. Colin, do you have a hero point?
Yeah, he just used it.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
I
did. Never mind.
No, I did
was
not.
going
I
to.
do have a hero point.
Would you like to
I
use it?
thought that was you.
You know, I'm trying to think how bad a failed perception check could possibly go.
Oh, he takes it out on you.
Yeah.
He does?
You
Okay.
You'll fall
Thinking
in the.
perception
You
might
won't
be
fall.
sort of a safe one, Elon, but
They're never
it's
safe.
not.
I say that around
No.
Joe all the time when I at one, and we do the same things here
Oh.
at home. Just, yeah, it'll be
Well,
fine.
it's not a one.
that big a deal.
Tommy will be like, you don't see the worm come out of the hole and grab your ass as you're trying to go through the portal.
That's what she said.
That was precisely what I was going to do, though. Okay, so you guys see... Did anybody else... Okay, nobody else that one. So, on the other side of this portal appears basically exactly where you guys are standing now. You get the feeling that where you're at is just kind of like a facsimile created to represent somewhere else in Qadira. Those of you, like, without making knowledge checks who are native to the region, which honestly I think is just Kazaha, but, you know, there's a lot of, like, abandoned ruins across the region from, like, cultures that had lived there prior to the various empires that have come through. And you imagine, like, that's just where it is. Like, going through here would take you to some random ruin in Qadira, back on the material plane safe.
Tommy, could I guess where the ruins are?
You can make
Let's see,
a
it's
turn.
When we get to the
ruins.
other side.
Speaking of turns, let's pass to Francis.
Oh Lord.
The ground is still shaking.
Yes, I know. Thankfully, I can move at half my speed carefully, as been proven by past experience. Thank the green faith that this portal's green. I'm gonna go through the portal.
You do so. And then it goes to Enderling.
Enderling's going to... I don't know. Well, I'm gonna crawl. I can move 40 feet.
Okay. So, without making a perception check, both Enderling and Francis know that, like, they've reached safety. They can feel, as soon as you step through the portal, the ground ceases to shake. You can hear, like, birds chirping, and, like, the
Desert birds.
Enderling has dark vision. You can look up and see, like, a bird fly over that hole, looking up over stars that I had described. But before we get any farther, let's make it... Because Van had an idea. He did. I'm going to have one more go here.
I did.
You
I don't
did.
have any ideas.
Where is...
Before you go,
I've
Tommy's going
never-
to spray everyone except for the 2 characters that Joe controls.
I never have any good character. I have never any good ideas.
Let's... I don't know where I want to go. Who haven't I hit? That's what I'm going to do. I don't want to just... Because I know this line here might kill a couple folks. I don't want to do that. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll roll a d6 to see who I'm going to target. Going from left to right. I roll a 4. So Kazuha. I'm just going to have it crawl out and charge you. I'll be nice. That might not be that nice,
shit.
but I'll be nice. Would you like to parry?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Joe, what's the neg for parrying something bigger than you? It's a 2.
Can I help him?
Joe's in the bathroom.
Oh, lovely. I think it's an egg too. Anyway, so here's my attack roll. We'll say yeah, you can aid another. That, yeah, you're great. You don't even need the another. Would you like to riposte?
I will not riposte because I don't want to have to make a reflex save to avoid damage to my weapon.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. All right, Jeff. Here comes another death worm.
Yeah. Okay, I'm ready to like die of con damage, but there's a portal there, right?
Yeah,
And the portal is good. Can I make a run for the portal?
you definitely can.
Alright, I don't want to die. Like, is that,
Remember,
I think it's a good idea. Like, I don't want to like abandon everyone, but you guys like want to stick around and fight this worm, and I don't want to abandon you all.
No,
Like,
run.
we're all running for the portal.
Yes.
Yep, that's the plan, to run to the portal.
Okay.
All right, you make it. I'm gonna assume that's a double move because you do nothing else.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Zandu.
Zandu is gonna go for the portal.
All right. Does anyone not go for the portal? Because everybody can make it in a double move.
Everyone would go to the portal unless they want to be in unless they want to be in the land of Beetlejuice and fight worms.
I mean, I will say a death worm
Technically,
is
that-
2,400 experience if somebody wants to try to like chief it now.
With my 11 hit points, no thank you.
You got this.
Well, yeah.
Non-full
correct.
bag.
If I was at full hit points, I could probably take it. But
Yeah.
I'm not at full hit points.
It only has 104 hit points. I believe in you guys. So everybody's running through.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
So you guys get through, and almost as soon as all of you end up in one place, Dimension Dooring in is I guess who am I looking at here? Francis and Zandu and Randall don't recognize the character, but they see an Ifrit that has like imagine Hellboy. His horns have been shorn off. He's wearing it's super obvious this guy is a follower of Serenre. He's got a broken scimitar hanging from his waist. Like when I say broken, I mean it's just the hilt, and then there's no blade there. He portals in. Does anybody come with him? Yeah, and it could just be him. We don't need to have 20 million NPCs now that we have 20 million PCs.
No, just my girlfriend.
Just
Just
your
my girlfriend. Yeah. That's all we need.
Roll percentage dice.
Ah, Jesus. No, it's okay if she's not there. I just don't want her dead.
All right,
All
so
right.
You have a 1% chance to save your girlfriend.
86.
good enough.
Okay, Tommy. Tommy.
86 is my girlfriend. No!
Okay, Tommy. I need to know: is the NPC Clark Gable in here?
I didn't quite get a Clark Gable token. I imagine I could find one if I typed it in, but I don't know exactly where that's gonna go. Let's
Just have the
yeah, sure.
CB26.
Aw, not you again.
And let's do a
Woot!
couple more. Actually, you know what I will do? It's gonna be awkward, but it's gonna be funny because I didn't realize Jeff was coming back to us.
Yes!
Armando!
And also, I'm gonna be really nice, though you never found where your familiar was, Donald. Boom. Welcome back. That token
Okay.
is way too
Okay.
big, but you're waving it.
Reunited and it feels so good.
Okay. I go and hug.
You hug
Okay, I hug I hug my hug my
You're
fam
familiar.
hug my family familiar like a friend. Oh, Marvin, good to see you again.
Marvin?
Yes, yeah, Marvin.
That's what Pogue says.
Marvin!
Pogue goes, Marvin? Your
Well,
bird's named Marvin?
also,
Jesus.
Donald, you know, even before like spending linguistics and stuff, I was looking at familiars today for a one shot at the Planar Crossroads, and all ravens can speak one language as a spell-like ability. So, for your knowledge. Anywho, the gnome whose name no one ever got is gonna just run over to Pogue and throw her arms around him. Armando will awkwardly look at Randall and
Throw his arms around him. You do
Yes.
not look poor.
why not?
No one's here to help
Mi
you.
amore savage.
It's canon now.
Oh,
Put it in the link.
yeah. It's my long lost tag partner. I know me and Armando go way back. Randall, it has been so long. It is good to see you here, safe, and looking so strong and muscular.
Beautiful.
Then I am pretty bad coming up with a bird name. Then Marvin was the closest thing I could think of an easy name to.
Could have called it Edgar. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Or just
but-
Or
Raven.
Lenore.
Well, Marvin sounds more of a person name than a bird name.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Hey, I love it though. It's great.
That's
my,
awesome.
My bird, he is intelligent as well, so he would take offense to become. He would take offense being called a dumb animal.
Yeah. He's might be smarter than well no, we're not on a point by, so this Raven will never be smarter than the fighters. But I digress. Mustafa
I mean,
will
his
see.
Well,
It,
Go ahead, Adam.
Khazahar would stroll right up to Mustafa and say, "Where have you been?"
Mustafa explains. Actually, you know, he does not explain in the third person because Tommy needs to get better voices. So Tommy's going to force himself to do voices on all his NPCs so I can get better at
So,
this.
so the DM is going to start talking about himself in the third person before doing first person voices.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Mustafa, like, he reaches out an arm and, like, grabs Kazaha by the forearm to shake it and just, my friend, I am so glad to have found you. And as he's saying this, I'm going to grab another. Yeah, sure, the bartender survives. Congratulations. More of these prisoners that you guys had been stuck with, they just, like, portal in behind him. I am sorry I took so long, my friend. There have been many, many raids across many of our outposts in Qadira and beyond. It has been... He looks up at the stars. It has been an incredibly arduous 2 weeks since all of you have gone missing, but I am so glad that all of you have returned and returned to us in one piece.
2 weeks?
He solemnly nods his head. Oh.
Weren't we gone for like 30 minutes?
Make a knowledge arcana check. Or the
To make a
plans.
note. Okay. Where'd my character go? Hold on. I lost my character sheet.
Wait, it's been 2 weeks, and I'm going to, in character, think a reason behind this rolling Arcana.
Okay. I'll wait for everybody to roll. I see Colin's 11.
Yeah, hold on a second.
27 Arcana.
Come on, character sheet.
Come on, character sheet.
Somebody
by the
just
way-
somebody roll for me.
Okay, what do you add?
As soon as I can get to the character sheet. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, here we go. Come on, character sheet. Holy moly. Knowledge Arcana. 7.
We get it? Okay, we got it. Okay, so you guys know. Lucia knows without a doubt that time passes differently across the various planes of the multiverse, and you imagine that if what Mustafa is saying is true, and you imagine it is given like his affiliation with Serenre and stuff, if you were on a plane that just time moves faster than it does on the material plane. Xandu and Pogue both, they just kind of like, as Lucius says this out loud, they just kind of nod in agreement. Let's throw in some more NPCs. I'm really going to push myself.
Xandu is trying to get acquainted with Mustafa, the giant person right here. So he's trying to figure out basically how he's tied to all of this.
Mustafa steps back and he begins looking at Randall and Xandu, the members, like, and Francis, I suppose, I forget because Kane's not here, looking at the people who aren't members of the Cult of the Dawnflower. As this happens, a little Gripply comes through the portal and just rushes Emeritus. And now I have to do a frog voice. I'm not going to do a frog voice. It just like, Wah! And then like wraps its arms, her arms around
It turns
your
into
leg.
Kermit.
Yeah. We need to get Greg.
Ah,
Greg can do
crispy!
it. Greg's got the Kermit the Frog voice in his back pocket. I'll just grab him real quick.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
I didn't think I would see you again.
pretty much.
Kermit the
Marcelo
Frog
is
here.
super happy to see you.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I'll like awkwardly smile and pat her on the back.
I'm so sorry that I had to go away. I had to get to my weapons because there were a lot of bad people that I had to fight because they were bad people.
You're digging that one back out again?
Oh, I'm digging that one back out again.
And it's gonna get super offensive, Sarah.
Bad people. Bad people.
Mustafa.
No,
P.
Tommy, wait. It wouldn't do it justice. You're a mean person.
Yeah, this is your character. You need to voice it. I'll just like say this and then you say it.
Okay.
Mustafa will approach Xandu. I was gonna give you a title because of your backstory, and I hadn't quite got around to it because I didn't know how long it would take you guys to get through that puzzle. Mustafa looks at you and just, you are the seer of Varisia, are you not? Even this far south, we've heard stories of you and your resistance against the Cheliax. He extends his hand, and as he does so, Serenre's holy symbol like flares into existence on it. My name is Mustafa, servant of the Dawnflower, and leader of this little rebellion. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Xandu will graciously shake his hand. It is good to see. It's been quite some time since I have, well, shall we say, seen anyone on my side.
He laughs and like nods, and as you shake his hand, you can feel like even before you touch it, the warmth just radiate off this thing. He turns and he looks at Armando and looks at Armando looking at Savage and Savage looking at Armando. Just, I do not think we have made an acquaintance yet. And he moves over and just offers the same thing, extends his hand. I am Mustafa of the Dawnflower.
Mustafa of the Dawnflower, yeah? Well, I'm the macho mage Randall Savage, alright? A wiggly-fingered, elbow-dropping, pumping, knocking, batter, son of a gun, yeah. Right now, I'm the cream of the crop, and I want to know what's going on around here. Last thing I know, I've been abducted, and I'm not too keen on that. Yeah.
He laughs about as hard as I am. Are you backing up Francis intentionally? Because you know it's your turn. I see you.
No,
there.
he said he's gonna knock someone's pumpkins. I don't know if I have my gourd leshy yet, but
I think he does. I think he got it at first.
the walking wildfire approaches.
Mustafa approaches Francis as I throw my cat across the room so he's not biting my ankles. And he extends his hand, and like he backs it off as I don't know what Kane's gonna do with his leshy in terms of like on the battlefield, but the little thing probably like pops out of your backpack and just and then realizes it's really hot and like dips back in there to hide, and Mustafa takes his hand back. I am sorry, my friend, where I come from, those of your kind, those of your nature, are not as common as those who venerate the desert, the oasis, creatures of extraplanar creatures, if you will. He just simply bows and says, I am Mustafa of the Dawnflower.
Nice to meet you. I close my bag very quickly, making sure that the Leshy doesn't accidentally catch a blaze in the desert heat and in the heat of Mustafa's presence.
Just make a quick aura. Nah, I'm not gonna do that for. So Mustafa looks at everybody and everybody who's an NPC, and he nods his head in the direction of an open portal I have failed to draw, and all the NPCs proceed to go in it. And he goes to you guys, and if you will come with us, we can take you somewhere where you can rest. All of you certainly deserve it. This is, as I said, it has been a rough and terrible 2 weeks for my forces and myself, trying to put out fires, trying to save all that we can. I can only imagine what it has been like for you. Please, follow me.
I came here with a friend. Do you happen to know where she might be?
He looks back and just cocks his head at you questioningly.
She was not taken prisoner, but I don't know where she is.
Can you describe her?
That's it's complicated. She's a bit of a shapeshifter.
She looks like an amorphous blob.
In response,
Humanoid.
Mustafa will go down to medium size because he can do that as a free. Everyone has their secrets, my friend. Please tell me what you know, and if I can help, I am honored to do so.
She was a kitsune. I last saw her nearby the border. She was visiting me in prison.
Which border do you mean, my friend?
Alongside the border of Cheliax.
Cheliax and where? Cheliax is very far from here in Kadira. Though I know the Empire, they reach all across Galarion and far beyond. I'm afraid that our reach is considerably less so, and I'm afraid if the Empire has taken you from Cheliax, there may be nothing I can do at this time. Forgive me.
Don't worry, she's a kitsune. Her name is Emeralda. Some people call her Emmy. She frequents gypsy camps.
And she likes to flub her strength score. Mustafa will again motion towards the portal and just, please, friends, let us rest. Somewhere safe. Does anyone not want to follow him? Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns?
He'll follow.
I'm not following him. I'm following the girl.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so we don't need a board. I'm not going to delete anything necessarily. As soon as you guys step through the portal, you find yourselves in a beautiful, idyllic, miles-long oasis. You imagine you've stepped onto another demiplane, except this demiplane is... Did you have to do that?
Yes, I did. I tried to warn you. I waved at you.
Except this demiplane is... it's you definitely are sure this is the good guy demiplane. There's no the ground isn't shaking, death worms are all over the place. The place is covered in tents, and there's a lot of non-combatants moving around. You can smell food cooking, you can hear people dancing in little makeshift taverns and stuff. Mustafa leads you guys basically to the nearest tavern. And as he does so, one of his aides comes up and they stop him. Mustafa looks at the aide looks back at him. You guys all get the feeling that they're communicating telepathically. And then the aide takes off, and Mustafa looks back at you guys and my friends, something has happened. I need your help. please, if you would follow me. And he leads you off to a side corner where you guys run into two figures. And I'll grab their tokens. The board doesn't matter, but the tokens do.
Oh, jeez.
Both
Not
of these
him again.
guys have been stripped down to their small clothes. You can see the one on the left. I'm going to make them a little bigger, but they're not actually large. Go away, Raven.
They've been stripped down and enlarged. It's,
Ego
it's Tommy's
size.
choice, all right?
Oh, yeah.
Thursday night is Tommy's choice.
Oh,
There
yeah.
we go.
That's why we go to Taco Bell, like, right after this. But anyway,
Gotta
you can
get
tell
them tacos.
the elf on the left, like, all over his body have been almost, like, carved tattoos in Infernal. They're both, like, bound ankles to wrists. Mustafa looks at you guys and he explains that these two were found trying to kill each other. Both of them come from, shall we say, not the best of pasts. However, I know that they were both instrumental to getting you and other members of the Dawnflower out of those prisons. So I shall leave their fates up to you. As I said, they were both found attempting to kill each other. No one else was harmed. But we can't trust them just running around the camp. Yet I am at a loss.
Okay.
He looks at you guys.
Just put them back where they came from.
He's gonna use
Oh.
his hero point.
Okay.
Much better.
Okay, how about we have a fight club and let them fight out who wins, get to survive, and who doesn't survive dies.
Well, one of them has a character sheet, so...
Another
Okay.
is going to ask, most merciful Mustafa, I would ask that you release Colin Wren of Built. He is our only chance in the north of removing the ungracious and dastardly bastard that is Ingmandir the Unruly.
Mustafa... They rolled a 4. He's gonna approach Colin Red. As he approaches Colin Red, Colin Red looks up and just gives us like a sheepish half smile. Mustafa looks him up and down, shakes his head, turns back to you and just... I cannot simply release one so evil as this human here. I have heard tales of Colin Red of Built. I have heard of the atrocities. I've heard of thousands upon thousands blood-eagled at his whim. I cannot simply release him on the word of one man.
Mufasa, you're familiar with how Gizas work? How about put him under one so he doesn't break a oath to help the people up there?
Sounds like a check to me.
Okay, so diplomacy.
18. I don't remember what he had. He has a character sheet too, stuff it does. But I would be will save. Okay.
Wait, there's a will save against diplomacy? I thought there were no saves against diplomacy rolls.
Like I said in session 1, we run them versus will saves. Because, I mean, it comes out to basically the same math anyway, but I don't have to, like, stop and figure out half your hit dice plus your wisdom modifier and all that. Mustafa, like, he says the same thing to you that he said to Enterling, but he says it in a much more derisive tone because, like, Chelish noblewoman, right? Essentially.
So Zandu will go up and try to determine their alignments, I suppose.
Okay. Make a knowledge local check.
I was actually going to do some psychic-y stuff.
Okay, you can do that too.
Knowledge local will help as well.
Mm-hmm. I just ask because your character is Varisian and you're not, like, of all the characters who's not Anderling, you're pretty close to where one of these guys is from.
Gotcha. Nope.
I mean, you don't need a lot of crazy details. You recognize the man on the right. Well, he's not the elf on the right, I should say, as Colin Wren of Built. And in the frozen north that most of us refer to as the lands of the Lenorm Kings, for a time, not a very long time, but long enough to where you would have heard his name, he was, think like a Jarl in Skyrim, if you don't know like what a Lenorm King actually means.
Got
but
it.
like he had gone through everything he needed to do out there to like establish his own right to rule, and it's really unheard of that far north because he's the first elf to ever have done so, and he did so in a part of the world where non-humans are extremely downtrodden. You know, like within a couple weeks after his ascension, he mysteriously disappeared, and you imagine like anybody from the Empire to any force that wants to see an elf Lenorm King out of power could have been like could have had a hand in that essentially, and now he's ended up here.
All right,
Gotcha.
So you want to do a psychic thing?
Yes, I'm just trying to figure out which psychic thing I'm gonna do. I have a lot of them.
Does anybody else want to say anything or do anything while he's...
So while you're doing that, Pogue marches over to them and looks down at them for once, right? And he's like, "Are you still trying to kill each other?"
Rivariel glares at you and says nothing, and Caloran just gives you that same, like, sheepish, like, oops kind of face.
All right, Pogue pulls himself up and sticks his fist on his hips, says, and looks down at Rivariel and says, "Really? After all we've been through together? That's all you've got? Are you one of those I'd rather die than talk people?"
Make a check.
Which one?
Your call.
Oh, Jesus.
Let me break out Rivariel's actual character sheet.
Yeah, wait. I want to use the hero point.
That time has come.
A little better.
We'll take it. I think I have defenses is where I go for my will save. So I need to be 18. Why is that called a willpower save? That's weird. Anyway, Rivariel looks up at you and he doesn't quite go as far as to spit at your feet and just, "You think I'm done, girl, with whatever you're trying to be today? I am far from done. Just because the flaming leader of the cult of the Dawnflower and his shorn horns have trapped me here doesn't mean I am anywhere near done." And now I see.
But you might be after he kills you.
So, sense motive check.
Yeah, hidden sense motive.
I see. I'm just trying to find my DC. Okay.
I'm doing it on the girl first.
Which one? They're both male.
The elf.
Oh,
The elf.
Doesn't?
It's a common mistake amongst the dwarves.
Yeah.
You know, the men look like the women and the women look like the men.
Who's the one
elves
that
all look the
Pogue was
same,
not?
you know?
Who's the one I was not able to identify?
Oh, that one.
Doesn't that same conversion work for dwarves as well?
It does, especially with
Of
dwarves.
course not, dwarves. Of course not. Dwarves
Yes.
look completely
So
different.
I'm trying because I know this other guy was
Rivariel
has
on the
crazy
left.
tattoos.
Okay, so
Yeah,
go ahead and
it's-
make the sense motive check. I know it's supposed to be secret, but
It is not like every single female dwarf have a beard as well.
24.
Every
get
single
the
dwarf
alignment.
have a beard.
what was the DC? 15 plus hit dice?
Yes.
Okay, so you
Unless his
you
hit
can't
dice
quite
is
pick it
9.
all up. You get the feeling that this guy's a lot more powerful than you are, but you know, like, he is definitively not evil, and the, like, scar tattoos across his body leads you to believe that, like, he might have been enslaved from a young age. He might have, like, he's certainly, like, wiry and muscular, and he has, like, the build of an assassin, but you get the feeling he might not necessarily have been like he was forced to do so, essentially, from a very young age, and it's just the only life he knows.
So wait a minute. So I look at Lucia. Pogue looks at Lucia and says, "Hey, you read Infernal, right?"
Yes, I do.
So what does his tattoos say?
Okay, I have a look. What do it say?
Do they say? This is what happens when I improvise at the end of the session.
Okay.
In Infernal, the tattoos, they bind Rivariel to the service of House 3, we'll say. Yeah, that's the only Chelish house that isn't yours that I can come up with off the top of my head. So, yeah, Rivariel is bound in service to a Chelish house. You get the feeling, and matter of fact, you know that like it's really common to do this in Cheliax, especially for a race like an elf that's going to live a really, really, really long time, because they'll have assassins for generations of a Chelish family, essentially, and that's what you're looking at here.
Okay.
So this one was a slave.
Yeah. So this is a marking that he was a slave to a Chelish noble house.
Rivariel just looks up
I
at
understand.
Lucia and snarls.
People like to mark people as people like to mark animals when it comes to hurting them and keeping stock. Us humans
That's
are not that
some
much
bullshit if I've ever heard it. It's not going to stand on my watch. We're going to have a whole lot of freedom around here.
And Pogue says, "I like to mark my my Cheliax nobility the way dogs do."
Okay, Lucia is trying to hide her emotional disgust.
I'm tempted to call a sense motive opposed by a bluff, but since we're not short on time, but we're at the end of the session.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll communicate to Mustafa that the infernal markings are signifying that he is a slave, essentially.
Mustafa
This
nods his head.
is a proposition, Morpha. So how about our Norse friend go to the North, do his thing, and you give him conditions that he needs to obey. I leave them up to you as you have a better sense of judgment what he can do.
Check with numbers.
And then how what is the elf name?
His name is Rivariel.
Rivariel. He can be of use to the rebellion. He just need to be convinced to aid us.
Okay, sounds like checks.
I.e. re-whipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, knowing my numbers, I'm not going to beat it. No, but I maybe get a 20.
I believe in you.
I can say that Rivariel is not evil based on my interpretation.
Mustafa nods at Xander in agreement, and he looks at Lucy, and I refuse to let one who has murdered so many in the name of seeking his own power and glory to go back. So yes, he can do it again.
Is it not true in the past Paladin have gave people of villainous past opportunity to redeem themselves? I'm sure you can find a place to have him redeemed.
Mustafa draws his scimitar, and as he does so, like where the blade should be, ignites like lightsaber style in flames, and he points it directly at Lucius' throat and just silence.
Okay.
Silence.
Okay. Fine.
Puts his weapon away. I will not allow him to go back to the north. I will not allow him to raise an army and bring it back to carve out a territory in lands that deserve their own freedom, not unlike my home of Kadira. We can let him go to Pharasma, or you can convince him to side with us. And it is the same for the assassin over there. Yes, I know he is bound, but I also know that he is free to make his own decisions, his own choices, and I cannot help him unless you convince him to let me help him.
Okay, I'm going to try to convince the two to one them to work with us, and the other one to be on good terms without and to help us.
As this is going on, a little dove flaps its way over to Mustafa, lands on his head, and as it does so, it kind of like baby phoenix style ignites into flame, and it like chirps at him. And
Lester.
not quite Lester. No, you've seen this one already, actually. And I'm not gonna bring that PC back. Anyway, so
it is
Mustafa,
my familiar.
No, it is not. It is mine. It is Mustafa's familiar. And I'm sorry, my friends. Business calls. I must go. Make a decision when you can, and find me. I shall not be far. We will do as you think is best. He dimension doors away, and that is where we're going to call it for tonight.
Nice.
Give you guys a
I
minute
was
to
gonna
figure
ask
it out.
Mustafa about the. I was gonna ask Mustafa about the elemental.
Okay.
We saw it ran off somewhere.
We'll say you can definitely see it like flying around amongst the people, like it's followed the rebels here.
Woohoo! All right.
So thanks guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more stuff, and drift over to the Planar Crossroads. Check those guys out too. Super cool, super fun to watch, and we will see you in a week.